The trap that nobody warns you about: the better your business does, the less you feel free. Revenue's climbing, the team's growing, you should feel like you're winning, but instead you're just working more. You're missing the school run, and you're potentially further from the life that you started this for than the day you first registered the blooming company. Keep running it this way, and in 5 years you won't be running a bigger and better business, you'll be running the same business, but more knackered, with a bigger team watching you do it. In this video, I'm going to show you the snowball method that fixes the problem, and I'll show you exactly what happens when real business owners use it. There's a Greek myth about a man called Sisyphus. He's condemned to push a boulder up a hill every day forever. He pushes and he toils and he gets that boulder up that hill, and then it rolls back down again. A lot of business owners would recognize that feeling. You push all week, things are going to move forwards, then a key person leaves, a client pulls out, you take a week off, and you come back to find the boulders halfway down the flipping hill again. But there is another image, a snowball at the top of the hill. It's small at first, but once it's moving, it doesn't stay the same size. It picks up more with every part of the hill that it rolls over, more mass, more speed, without you pushing any harder. And that right there is the snowball method. It's not 3 separate fixes, it's one snowball that gets bigger as it goes. Sell more first, then lead better packs onto that, and then grow faster packs onto both of those. By the time it reaches the bottom of the hill, it's nothing like the size that it started at, and neither is the business. One of those is how you're living right now. The other is where you're headed. So let's build it. I help business owners get more time and more profit from their business, whether that's scaling from 6 to 7 figures or 7 to 8. And I know exactly what gets in the way of that because I've been in the way of all of that a lot. 20 odd years ago, I had my first big business, a photography studio. There's 15 team members and £100,000 a year in rent, plus rates, plus all of the other expenses before I'd taken a single photo. I thought that was ambition, but it was ego. I was working every hour, every decision ran through me, and the whole thing depended entirely on me being there. Then one day, the tax man called. I put the phone down and I just sat there staring at the wall for about 5 minutes, wondering how it had all gone so wrong. And this is what I realized in that moment. I wasn't running a business. I was the business. Everything routed through me because I told myself nobody could do it the same way that I could. And I was right, nobody could. But that's not a strength, that's a definite weakness. It's a trap. When the business runs through the owner personally, it doesn't matter how hard you work or how much revenue comes in. The moment that you step back, it just rolls back down that hill again every time. And that's not bad luck, that is a structure problem. And it's the same structure problem I see in almost every growing business that I coach and mentor today. So the question is, what does it actually look like to fix it? Because it starts somewhere specific and it's probably not what you'd expect. Let's start with sell more. Business owners I talk to have got the same problem with sales, and it's not they can't sell, they nearly always can, and they're nearly always exceptional, but the whole sales engine runs through them. The team are good people, but when a decision needs making or a quote needs signing off, everyone's waiting for the owner. And because there's no real structure in the pipeline, nobody can actually see where the revenue is leaking or why some months are great and others are just a disaster. Tim, one of the Business Accelerator team with a large construction business, was exactly that. Every job that came in, he was quoting for it personally. If he wasn't in the room, the deal didn't happen. His team were capable, but they just didn't have the framework to work without him in every conversation. So that's where we started. We mapped his entire customer journey. We found where the opportunities were falling through, and then we built a sales system his team could run without him standing over every single deal. Now his team closes everything except the big commercial quotes without him there at all. And he's got a constant pipeline that he can actually see and he can actually manage. And that's what Sell More does. It's not about clever closing lines or objection handling scripts, although we do cover that too. It's about building a proper sales engine. The Sell More blueprint maps your entire customer journey and shows you exactly where revenue is leaking. And the revenue gap scanner is going to expose the bottlenecks fast so you can increase sales without just spending more time on marketing. Sell More is what gives you the money, and once you've got that working, there's a different problem that shows up, and it's the one that's going to steal your time. So let's talk about lead better. So to recap, you've got your sales engine, it's running without you in every deal. Revenue is more predictable, but this is what happens next, and this catches almost everyone out. The money improves, but the time doesn't, because the real bottleneck was never just the sales. It's that the whole business still depends on the owner for every decision and every problem that kind of happens on a Tuesday afternoon. Rebecca, a salon and beauty owner, was working 7 days a week. The only time she had to actually work on the business rather than in it was on Sundays, so her kids lost that day too. Her team weren't lazy or incapable, they just didn't have a system for thinking independently. Every question came back to her and every decision waited for her, and she was bloody exhausted. A few weeks ago, she texted me genuinely excited because she'd just been on holiday for the first time in 7 years. She takes Sundays off now. She picks the kids up from the school most days and her team runs things without her standing over them. And that made me really, really flipping chuffed. Her hard work had paid off. So that's what Lead Better builds. The Lead Better framework gives you the team a proper leadership operating system. So they think independently, they make better decisions, and they take ownership without needing you in every single conversation. And the ownership engine installs the management rhythms, the delegating tools, and the accountability systems that make it a permanent shift, not just a good week after one motivating meeting. Lead Better is what's going to give you the freedom. And once you've got that, there's one more question left. What do you actually do with it? And that's the third part of the snowball: grow faster. So now you've got yourself a sales engine that runs without you in every deal and a team that makes decisions without needing you in every conversation. That is massive progress. But then a lot of business owners are going to hit a wall they didn't see coming, because as the business grows, the complexity grows with it. Margins get squeezed, leaders get overwhelmed, and growth starts creating more work instead of more freedom. You end up busier than before, just at a higher revenue level. Dale was in this exact spot as an online coach. One month he did 5 grand. He was embroiled in absolutely everything with no structure for his growth. But after installing the frameworks, 4 months later, he was at £42,000. And in his business, with the margins that he runs, that's a hell of a lot of profit, which is exactly what you want when you're building a lifestyle business rather than just a busy one. It's flipping amazing, honestly. But that kind of jump doesn't really happen by accident. It happens when the strategy, the people, and the performance are all pulling in the same direction at the same time. And that's what Grow Faster gives you. The Grow Faster framework aligns those 3 things so the business scales without creating chaos, and the Freedom by Design blueprint builds the leadership and measurement systems that give you the confidence to actually step back, because the business is carrying the weight. It's not carrying you personally. So Sell More gives you the money, Lead Better gives you the freedom, Grow Faster is what you do with both of them. And look, those are 3 stories from inside the Business Accelerator. And it's not just 3 good stories that I clearly cherry picked. Let me show you what's actually been coming in from clients over the last few weeks alone. So that's what's happening inside the accelerator right now. Not once a year at a big event, it's every single week. And nobody does this alone. It's lonely at the top sometimes, isn't it? So the Discord is where the whole community comes together. Business owners and senior leaders sharing wins, asking questions, supporting each other between calls, learning from people who are in exactly the same position that they're in. We answer questions on the fly so you can get the results there and then, not just wait for another monthly check-in. And every Thursday at 4 p.m. GMT, we all get on a group coaching call together. People bring the real problems and we work through them in the room in real time, but importantly, make it relevant for everyone there, not just one person. This isn't a course you buy and you sit alone with. It's a room full of business owners winning every week with direct access to coaching when it actually matters. And by the way, it's not just the Discord channel. There's on-demand coaching videos for every snowball, and every module's got the workbooks and tools that go with it. So you're not just watching this stuff, you're actually flipping well doing it. I've even got the Kitbot, my little AI friend, to point you to the correct module and section when you need that instant problem to be fixed. So there you have it. If you've watched this far, you already know whether this is for you. You're a business owner or a senior leader. Your revenue's coming in. You've got a team or you're building one, and somewhere in the back of your mind, you know the current version just isn't sustainable. The pace you're working at right now isn't one you can keep for the next 10 years. The accelerator isn't for everyone. We release 20 spots each month, and everyone who joins gets a one-to-one strategy call to map their first 6 months. Importantly, every client is going to recoup their investment within 90 days. Most do it within 28. And some people who watch this are going to nod along and they're going to close the tab and go straight back to pushing that boulder. The ones who don't are the ones who click the link right now. It's in the description and it's pinned in the comments, and it's going to take you straight to the full breakdown. Stop pushing the boulder and then start building the snowball.